Hi, my name is Jordan, and today I'm going to share a horrifying case with you. Meet Yoo Young-chul, a name that has gone down in infamy in South Korea's criminal history. Between 2003 and 2004, this man unleashed a wave of terror that paralyzed the city of Seoul, leaving behind a trail of blood and unanswered questions. His choice of weapon, a hammer he made himself, which he used to carry out a series of chilling murders that would mark him as one of the country's most feared serial killers. But Yoo Young-chul's journey into darkness didn't start with murder. His past was littered with signs of trouble, from a childhood marred by poverty and ridicule to a young adulthood filled with criminal activities. Before he turned to killing, Yoo had already been on the wrong side of the law multiple times, with a record that included theft and fraud. In this video, we're diving deep into the twisted world of Yoo Young-chul, also known as the Raincoat Killer. Yoo Young-chul's story begins in 1970, in a small town in South Korea, where he was born into a life of hardship. Growing up in poverty, Yoo faced constant ridicule from his peers for his family's low social status. This early experience of social rejection and isolation planted the seeds of resentment that would grow over the years. The absence of a stable family life only added to his troubles. After being abandoned by their mother, Yoo and his siblings were left in the care of their grandmother, only to be later taken in by their father and a stepmother who was far from kind. The sudden death of his father in a traffic accident left the family in even deeper despair. Yoo's attempts to escape his circumstances through education ended in failure when he was rejected by an art school, a blow to his already fragile self-esteem. He settled for a technical school but soon found himself drawn to the quicker, albeit illegal, ways of making money. His criminal record began with petty thefts, escalating quickly as he sought out more lucrative targets. Despite these early run-ins with the law, Yoo managed to start a family, marrying a masseuse and fathering a son. However, his inability to stay away from crime led to a series of imprisonments, straining his family life to the breaking point. His wife's eventual departure, citing abuse and his alcohol problems, marked the end of what little stability he had. As Yoo Young-chul's life spiraled out of control, his criminal activities took a dark and violent turn. In 2003, Seoul would come to know true fear as Yoo embarked on a horrifying killing spree that would last over a year. Armed with a homemade hammer, he targeted those he resented the most, the wealthy whom he blamed for his life's miseries and sex workers, reflecting his deep-seated hatred for women following his divorce. Yoo's first known murders were shockingly brutal. He invaded the homes of the elderly and affluent, unleashing violence that was both random and calculated. His method was ruthless. He would bludgeon his victims to death, leaving behind a scene of carnage that shook the city to its core. The police, unprepared for such brutality, struggled to connect the dots, while the media and public clamored for answers. But Yoo didn't stop there. His attacks became more frequent and his methods more gruesome. He ventured into the red light districts, preying on sex workers who were, in his twisted view, easy targets. His crimes were not just acts of violence, they were messages of hatred, a perverse form of revenge against a society he felt had wronged him. The turning point came when a massage parlor owner noticed a disturbing pattern. Several of his employees had vanished without a trace. Alarmed, he contacted the police, setting off a chain of events that would eventually lead to Yoo's capture. It was a race against time, as Yoo, now dubbed the Raincoat Killer for his method of disguising his identity, continued his spree, seemingly always one step ahead of the law. The relentless pursuit of justice finally bore fruit when Yoo Young-chul made a critical mistake. His pattern of using the victims' phones to lure new targets led the police straight to him. In a carefully orchestrated sting operation, they captured Yoo, but not before he tried to destroy evidence by chewing on the SIM cards of the phones he had used. This act of desperation marked the beginning of the end for Yoo. Upon his arrest, the full extent of his crimes began to unravel. Initially, Yoo attempted to mislead the police by denying the kidnappings, suggesting a different motive behind his actions. However, faced with overwhelming evidence, he confessed to a series of murders that had terrorized Seoul. His confession was chilling, detailing how he selected his victims, his methods of killing, and his attempts to cover his tracks. But Yoo's capture was not without drama. In a shocking turn of events, he exploited a moment of negligence by faking a seizure, escaping custody for a brief period. This escape underscored the cunning and dangerous nature of Yoo, even when cornered. It took a massive manhunt and public outcry to recapture him, ensuring that he could no longer pose a threat to society. Yoo's confession and subsequent rearrest brought a mix of relief and horror to the public. The details of his crimes, including the admission of cannibalism, were almost too gruesome to believe. He led the police to the burial sites of his victims, a grim tour that revealed the true extent of his brutality. The media dubbed him the Raincoat Killer, a moniker that captured the fear he had instilled in the heart of Seoul. With Yoo Young-chul securely behind bars, South Korea breathed a collective sigh of relief. However, the trial that followed was anything but straightforward. Yoo's courtroom behavior was erratic and violent. He attempted to attack the judge and even tried to take his own life. His lack of remorse and respect for the judicial process only added to the public's revulsion and the victims' families' anguish. Despite the delays and drama, justice was eventually served. Yoo was found guilty on multiple counts of murder and sentenced to death, a verdict that reignited the debate on capital punishment in South Korea. Although the country has not carried out an execution since 1997, Yoo's sentence stands as a testament to the severity of his crimes. The impact of Yoo Young-chul's reign of terror extended beyond the courtroom and into the heart of South Korean society. His crimes prompted a re-evaluation of police procedures and the effectiveness of the criminal justice system. The initial denial of a serial killer at large and the subsequent mishandling of the investigation led to calls for reform and greater accountability within law enforcement agencies. Moreover, Yoo's case forced a societal introspection on issues such as the treatment of sex workers and the social inequalities that can drive individuals to the fringes of society. His targeting of the wealthy and vulnerable highlighted the deep-seated resentments that can fester in a rapidly changing society. Today, Yoo Young-chul's legacy is a somber reminder of the darkness that can lurk within. It serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of vigilance, both in law enforcement and in addressing the societal issues that can lead to such extreme acts of violence. As South Korea continues to navigate its path forward, the memories of those lost to Yoo's madness serve as a poignant call to action, ensuring that such a tragedy is never repeated. The story of Yoo Young-chul, the Raincoat Killer, is a complex tapestry of human frailty, societal failure, and the enduring quest for justice. It's a chapter in South Korean history that will not be forgotten, serving as a stark reminder of the cost of indifference and the value of empathy in our shared humanity. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And also don't forget to share your opinion about case in the comment section. See you in the next video.